everyone, and welcome back to Movie Rays. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the full backstory behind the Blossom family. We tried to find as much information as possible for this video, but we might miss some minor details here and there because the Blossom family have a lot of things surrounding them. In one scene, Clifford Blossom famously said, "Riverdale was built on the maple syrup industry." If Clifford's statement is true, that would mean that some of the first people in Riverdale were Blossoms. It's actually funny when you think about it. They are famous for producing syrup, and their last name is Blossom, which means that a plant is at its peak performance. For example, when the maple syrup trees delivers the best syrup, they are blossoming. In order to look at the full story behind the Blossoms, we have to go way back to Barnabas B. Blossom and Gigi Granny Blossom, which is both Cheryl's and Betty's great-great-grandparents. Barnabas and Gigi Blossom moved to the location where Riverdale soon was going to be founded because of the good farming lands that were especially good for planting maple trees. Because the land was such a good spot to plant maple trees, they received a lot of high-quality maple syrup from their trees, which they could easily sell and earn a fortune. Because business went so well, they could afford to hire people to come and work on their syrup farm, and that led to people building their homes nearby. Slowly, the town started to grow. Because there were workers, there had to be houses, and where there were houses, there had to be stores. Just 20 years after Barnabas and Gigi Blossoms started their maple syrup farm, they had become very rich, and a new town was forming around them. Barnabas and Gigi Blossom did eventually have 2 children, which were 2 twin boys. We couldn't find their names, but in the show they are referred to as Great-Grandpappy Cooper and Great-Grandpa Blossom. When Barnabas and Gigi Blossom died, they would have to choose one of their sons to take over their maple syrup empire, and the obvious choice was to pick Great-Grandpa Blossom. This was something that didn't sit well with Great-Grandpappy Cooper. For a very long time, everyone thought that it was Great-Grandpa Blossom who killed Great-Grandpappy Cooper. But when Hal Cooper revealed himself to be the Black Hood, he also revealed that it was Great-Grandpappy Cooper who was the killer.
He was the killer. He killed Great-Grandpappy Blossom and then took on the Cooper name to create a new identity for himself.
After killing his brother, he took on a new identity and a new name, Cooper. It was later found out that the Cooper family had something called the killer gene. From then on, the Blossom family was split into 2, the Blossoms and the Coopers, and therefore I will explain them one at a time, the beginning of the newly formed Cooper family. Great-Grandpappy Cooper had 1 son, and just like his father, he carried the killer gene. There was only one other family that knew that Great-Grandpappy Cooper killed his brother, and it was the Conways family. Mr. Conway used the Cooper's dark secret to blackmail Grandpappy Cooper, and because of that, he killed them. The whole Conway family was killed except for one of the children, the Conways' boy Joseph, later known as Mr. Swenson, survived. Grandpappy Cooper had a son during this time, and he was around the same age as Mr. Swenson. His son was named Hal Cooper, and just like his father and grandpa, he had the killer gene. He helped protect his dad by convincing Mr. Swenson to accuse an innocent man instead of his dad. Hal later on in the show said Joseph was easy to manipulate.
Mr. Swenson, who you convinced to accuse an innocent man?
Joseph was easy to manipulate.
Hal Cooper wanted to continue his dad and Grandpappy's work of cleansing Riverdale from sinners, and took on the identity of the Black Hood. He managed to kill a lot of people he considered sinners. He was eventually stopped by his own daughter Betty and put in jail. Hal was married to Alice Cooper, and together they had Betty and Polly Cooper. Polly went on and started a relationship with Jason Blossom, which Hal strongly disliked, knowing that they were third cousins. Polly eventually planned to run away with Jason, but Jason was stopped and killed by his father. Polly was already pregnant at this time, and therefore she was sent to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. After she managed to escape the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, she had her twin daughters. As you might have noticed, the Blossoms have a high chance of having twins. Betty chose to start dating Jughead Jones, which was the son of F.P. Jones, one of Alice Cooper's earlier love interests. We can just wait and see if they're going to have a few children of their own. We sure hope that they have at least one child together. From the dad, only Betty received the killer gene, and she shows it when she's in the form of Dark Betty. She dresses up with black clothes and a black wig, and really allows herself to be who she really is.
Betty couldn't make it, so she sent me instead.
But for most of the time, she's just the friendly girl next door. After Hal was gone, both Polly and Alice Cooper went on and joined the farm, which was a very sinister cult. We will have to wait and see how that turns out in season 4, but hopefully they are at least alive. Now we are finished with the Cooper side of the family, so let's jump back to the Blossoms again. Before being killed by his brother, Grandpappy Cooper, Great-Grandpa Blossom had one child, later referred to as Grandpa Blossom. In the Blossom family, red hair has always been very important, and therefore Grandpa Blossom usually wore a wig because he wasn't naturally red-haired. He also made sure to marry a red-headed woman named Rose Blossom. Their life wasn't anything out of the ordinary if you don't look at the fact that they were extremely wealthy. Together, Rose and Grandpa Blossom had twins, and they named them Clifford and Claudius Blossom. Just as the case was with Great-Grandpappy Cooper and Great-Grandpa Blossom, they had to choose one son that was going to take over the maple syrup company. Once again, they picked their oldest son, Clifford Blossom. Claudius decided to move away from Riverdale because he didn't have anything to do there anymore now when his brother was going to inherit everything. Clifford's parents wanted Clifford to marry a red-headed girl to keep up the family tradition, and therefore they went to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy and picked out a red-headed child named Penelope and adopted her so that Clifford could marry her when they grew up. That is, in my opinion, extremely wrong, and we can see later on how this affected Penelope as an adult. Clifford grew up and eventually married Penelope, even though she never really wanted to become a Blossom, but she didn't have a choice. She tried to get help from her friends such as Alice Cooper and F.P. Jones, but they didn't help her at all. They just allowed the marriage to go through. We are not sure why, but we assume the maple syrup business wasn't going as well as it used to do anymore because Clifford Blossom started selling big amounts of drugs in Riverdale. This made the Blossoms even more wealthy, and we really can't assume that he was a greedy man. Knowing that they supplied almost every household with syrup, they would have made a lot of money without selling drugs. Penelope and Clifford went on to have twins, just like most of the Blossoms. They had one daughter named Cheryl and one son, which they named Jason. Both Cheryl and Jason were extremely popular in school, and it was that way Jason first met Polly Cooper. Jason got Polly pregnant, and because neither of their parents allowed them to be together, they planned on running away. Jason had also found out that his dad was selling drugs and threatened to reveal his secret. This made Clifford Blossom furious. Cheryl helped her brother run away. Well, that was at least what she thought, before he was found in Sweetwater River, dead, with a bullet in his head. Later in the show, it's revealed that it was none other than Clifford who killed his own son in order to prevent him from running away and revealing his secret. When the news got out that Clifford was selling drugs, he hung himself in the barn rather than getting caught by the police. After these events, Cheryl went a bit nuts to say the least, and she burned down Thornhill, which is the oldest house in Riverdale and the main home to the Blossoms. When doing this, she injured her mother badly, and afterwards she went to the hospital, ensuring that if she told anyone, she would be killed. Cheryl was especially damaged by the death of Jason, because they were maybe even closer than siblings should be. She tried to take her life because she couldn't live without him, but Archie Andrews was there to save her right in time. The last thing we have to mention is how Penelope and Hal Cooper got together to revenge on Riverdale. Hal wanted to clear the town from sinners, and Penelope wanted to revenge the town that allowed her to be sold into the Blossom family without doing anything. After arranging multiple attacks and killing innocent people, Hal was shot by his daughter Betty, and Penelope managed to escape the police. We don't really know what will happen in Season 4, but hopefully the Cooper family will grow, with Jughead and Betty having a child or maybe even twins. We are happy that the Cooper and Blossom family no longer fight each other, and both Cheryl and Betty like each other. The family feuds can be put behind them, and they can look forward. This video covered most of the Blossom family's origins, but let us know if we missed anything in the comments down below. With that said, if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Also, don't forget to comment what video you would like us to make next.